So I was saying the previous video that this the golden cow situation, and God turned away from Israel because of their golden calf. God turned away and gave them over to worship of sun, moon, and the stars. This is interesting. This is the Acts 7 verse 47. This is exactly what is happening in Romans 1, which says God gave them over to the lust of the flesh towards homosexuality, the depravity, the depravity of the man, a lust of the man, a woman of the woman. So this is all in Romans 1. When they saw the glory of God, when they saw the creation beauty, like now you can see how beautiful it is and all this. Any person with any sensible brain thinking, with honesty, integrity, will have to say there is a supernatural God who put all this together so beautifully. The air that we breathe, oh my gosh, the green. Imagine this is all human-made robots and wood and concrete. You'll be disastrous. You get depressed. All right, our body anatomy with mouths and intestines, and the absorbing, the digestion, the DNA. It's just mind-blowing, totally. And this is now. That's why God gave them over to such thing, because of their choosing to go in another way, the idolatry way. So this is this, and further on in verse 42, it says here that that this agrees with what is written in the book of the prophets. Did you bring me sacrifice and offerings? 40 years in the desert, in the wilderness, people of Israel, did you bring me sacrifices and offerings? 40 years in the wilderness. Of course they did, but what God meant is, in the midst of bringing all these things, you were actually hiding a lot of other things. This is what called hanky-panky, right? It says, Acts 7, verse 43 is here. During those 40 years in the wilderness, you have taken up the tabernacle of Molech and the star of your god Rephan, the idols you made to worship. Therefore, I will send you into exile beyond Babylon. Now, final straw is that golden cow. This is a situation. They came out of Egypt by the mighty outstretched arm of God, with performing great signs and wonders, the scale of which is unprecedented and has not ever been matched till today. I mean, splitting the Red Sea with 3 million Jews, 3 million people walking across on dry ground within a matter of hours. Entire sea. Imagine Hudson Rivers split out dry land for 3 million Manhattan New Yorkers walk across to New Jersey. That kind of astronomical scale. This is more than a Hercules or Batman kind of video, Hollywood production even. So even after all these things, they still carry their own idols in the midst of worshiping God. And God knew it. God knows everything. And at that point of time, God gave them over to worship His sons, because the last straw is the golden cow. They bowed down to the golden cow, and God had enough. So I'm just saying that, this is what's happening, and this it serves as a mighty warning to us today. Never take God for granted. Yes, we are under the period of covenant of grace, but grace is not to be abused. God has poured out everything for His people, for us. So today, folks, remember, don't turn your hearts to idols. Don't hide them. Even partially is a problem. Just a little bit of it causes huge problem. eventual destruction of the people. You know, the only reason God gave them over is because of what they're already doing. There's no way that God will give them over if it were not for the fact that they bow down to idols. They bow down to their own gods, manufactured gods made by their own hands. So that is the lesson we have to learn, and make sure we don't want to go through Romans 1. Romans 1 is absolutely scary. So we'll leave that to another time. Amen.